Good evening and welcome to Pensacola, Florida at the Five Flags Speedway for the season finale of the Crooked Racing Series, the Monday Madness Series to be exact, with the late models. It is their 12th race and final race of the season. They're going to crown their champion here tonight. And before we do that, let's take a quick look here at the standings in their championship. There we have him. It's Brandon Mettler leading the pack with 409 points in front of Scott Drost, Tanner Mayer, Mark Young, Garrett Crow, Brandon Feeney, Bill Gross, Dave Birchner, Marcus Wilkie, and Lauren Arfman. And what is at stake tonight is the championship, but it looks like Brandon Mettler has pretty much got this covered. Here's the deal. He can win 43 points. Anybody can win 43 points with a win. But they score all the way to the last finishing position. We have 15 cars at the race here tonight at the track being entered in this race, and that basically means that Brandon Mettler, when he starts the race, can do no worse than 15th position. Now he needs to score 22nd in order to be sure of the title. So basically, Brandon Mettler, if he starts this thing here tonight, he is going to be crowned your champion. Now, I haven't followed all these races of these guys, but I can tell you that Brandon Mettler at the top of the leaderboard has gotten there basically because of his consistency. I'm sorry, I've been talking all day. And he has won only one race out of the 10 so far this season, but his consistency got him the points that he earned. So Scott Drost and Tanner Marr are basically the only one that would have had a mathematical chance if there were more than 22 drivers in this race. Both of them I'm told, are fast, and Marr is actually one of the faster guys. Drost is the more consistent one, and the biggest winner in the season so far, that should be worth mentioning, is Jason Tarasenko. He has won 5 out of 6 races, and he is expected to be doing well here tonight as well. Well, you can tell from what we see in the practice session here that he is in fact on top of the timesheets there with a 15.194. So we're heading into qualifying here right now. We're going to be qualifying 2 laps, best of 2 like always. The qualifying will be individual. That means that the drivers do not see each other on the track, but we can see all of them as long as they're on the track, obviously. We talk about guys a lot, in this sport, but obviously let's not count out our ladies. We have Lauren Arfman here in the 72 car that is among us, and she's been doing pretty good. I believe she is 10th in the series, and that is not at all bad for anybody to brag about. So here we have Marcus Wilkie. We're waiting for some drivers to post times here. We have our first time in for Marcus Wilkie. And let me see here. I'm sorry, Scott Drost was the first one to post the time. Marcus Wilkie is posting the second time, the best time, and as I say that, he's being overtaken already. It is Bill Gross that is actually posting the quickest time here as we speak, and we're waiting for some more guys and gals to bring us some lap times here. Lauren putting it on fifth position currently. Dave Britchener in seventh. Michael Pittman in the eighth position. Can't find any of these guys on the track right now. There is Derek Trowbridge. I've seen that name in another series, I believe. Maybe it was a family of him. And Trowbridge is in the 99 car going out there on track currently. Looking to make an impression, obviously. We have Jason Tarasenko currently on the track in the 21, and he has yet to post one of those times. And we have Trowbridge bringing it up to the fourth position right now on his first lap, a 15.366. That's pretty good. We have Jeff Dooley that has taken the second position. He's currently in the pit lane again. Derek is back. There we have it. Jason Tarasenko is bringing it back on to the top of the timesheets here once again. And that guy that told me that he's one of the quicker guys in this series, that's obviously an understatement. So he's only done one lap, and it's enough, it seems, to put him on the provisional pole. Let's see who else we've got here. Tyler Johnson in the number 5 car. And Tyler Johnson is currently 13th in the standings. And it doesn't look like he managed to get a time in. And Brian Metler looks like he is getting ready to go out. There you have him. There is your championship leader and winner tonight, the 015 of Brandon Metler. Let's see where he can put it here. And it looks like Metler has only got his second lap counted, and that could happen because if you scrape the wall or go off track at any point during the lap, then iRacing does not validate that lap and it doesn't count. So Brandon Metler puts himself on the third position there in qualifying. And we have a little bit time left, nobody on the track, so let's show you a little bit of information on Five Flags Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. It is a half-mile long oval track. The current temperature is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. We're racing under the lights, as you can obviously tell. 42% relative humidity with a partly cloudy sky and no winds to speak of. We have a track temperature of 72 degrees. That is fairly cool, and that is always to the driver's advantage. It makes for a lot less slippery track generally, so we're expecting the drivers not to get into major trouble as far as hot tracks are concerned, obviously. So that is the information on the track. The pit lane speed limit is 35 miles an hour. The drivers are working here with a fixed setup, meaning they cannot change the car other than just a few things. The brake bias and the steering ratio is the only things that they can play with in these cars. They have one fast repair at their disposal. And a fast repair, folks, that it means that they can get their damage instantly repaired, should there be any. And let's take a look here at the grid for this race here tonight. As said, Jason Tarasenko is on the pole, a Canadian driver. Bill Gross, American driver, in the 12th car. He is on the second position. And on the second row, we have Brandon Metler and Jeff Dooley. On the third row, we have Tanner Moore and Derek Trowbridge. Then it's Garrett Crow and Dave Bitchner on the 4th row, Scott Drost, Marcus Wilkie on the 5th row, Lauren Arfman there in the 11th position on the 6th row with Mark Young alongside her, also Canadian driver. And then we have in the final starting positions, on the 7th row, we have James McClellan and Michael Pittman, and then on the final row we have Tyler Johnson. So quite a few Canadian drivers in here. That's good to see. International field. Always like it when there's people from more than just the United States in our race. And there you have them. They're all set to go. We're waiting for the pace car to get moving. We have 125 laps ahead of us here to finish the Crooked Line Racing season here in the super late models. And one final thing that we wanted to show you before we get going is that this is the car information here at iRacing.com. It's got a 358 cubic inch cast iron V8 block. It's got 550 horsepower. It's got a 4-speed manual transmission. It weighs 2,800 pounds and it goes about 190 miles an hour, which I doubt that they will make that here, but we can try to show you that during the race. The top speed is probably going to be right around 120, 130 miles an hour, if I'm not mistaken. Pace car is leading these guys around twice before we get going to give them a little bit of an opportunity to put some heat in those tires. We have a 15-car field, which is not huge, but these cars are fairly quick for short tracks like these guys are running, so we're expecting quite some close racing around here. Bill Gross leading them. Jason Tarasenko on the outside. And we are racing here at Five Flags Speedway in Florida. It is Bill Gross that takes the lead from the number 21 car. And it's Brandon Mettler there in 3rd position in the blue car. There you have him. Tanner Marr is in the 4th position in the number 4 car. That's to make it easy for us. Then it's Jeff Dooley in the 98, and he is in 5th position currently, and Garrett Crow in 6th. Scott Drost in the number 15 car, there you have him in 7th position. Jason Tarasenko has already taken over the lead, and we missed that, so we're going to try to find that back for you really quickly. It probably happened right there on lap 1 as we were going through the field. And I was just mixing up my numbers there, folks. Jason Tarasenko in the 21 car is in the lead. I apologize for that. Then it's Bill Gross and Brandon Mettler fighting there for the 2nd position. And there's a little bit of a distance between them and Dooley and Marr. Tanner Marr is on the inside there in the number 4 car. Dooley on the outside, still side by side there, and then it looks like Dooley's slotting in. And we have Lauren Arfman here in 8th position, holding off Scott Drost in the number 15 car with James McClellan, who's had a great start. He picked up 3 positions. He's in 10th. And the loser seems to be Dave Bitchner, and he is in the 14th position, fell back a little bit, 6 positions there, and now even in last position. There we have Bill Gross scraping the wall here at Five Flags Speedway, but he is holding on to that position, and it looks like Tarasenko is really not walking away from these guys, so they might actually be catching up with him. Mettler is in the 3rd position. Tanner Marr in the 4th position with still Jeff Dooley in the 98 right behind him. Derek Trowbridge is behind him in the 99 car, and then it's Garrett Crow in the 38 with the purple and white machine there. Behind him, it is Lauren Arfman, and Scott Drost is trying to get alongside her, and it looks like he gets there. Ooh, slight touch, actually. The 15 takes over 8th position. And right behind Lauren, it is James McClellan in the 71 car, the green and black machine, with Tyler Johnson in the green car right behind him. And it looks like Gross and Mettler are catching up to Tarasenko here. He's definitely not walking away from them, and obviously that's a good thing for the race here, trying to make things a little exciting. Bill Mettler would obviously try his best to put a crown on that championship with a last race win. There you see the distances on the right bottom of your screen there. It's fairly close, 0.2 of a second. It's pretty much a car length on the track. And it does look like Tarasenko can expect a little bit of opposition there coming in from behind. All three guys are doing a very good and steady job. And let's go right along here with Bill Gross in 2nd position, looking at the back of Jason Tarasenko. You can tell from the movements of their hands on the steering wheel that they're doing a fairly decent and stable job, not fighting the car all that much. Of course, we're still on fresh tires. We're only got 17 laps into this race, and once those tires will start falling off, we'll definitely be seeing a little bit more movement for the guys trying to fight that car, making sure the back end doesn't step around on them. They'll have to be a little bit careful on the throttle. And it looks like Tarasenko is now pulling away again a little bit. 0.4 of a second. It's not much, but it does help him, and he's definitely safe now. Not to expect any unexpected moves there from Bill Gross and Brandon Mettler. Brandon taking the lower side here, trying to get to the inside of Gross, but it's not yet working. He's not close enough just yet, but he's definitely working on it pretty hard. Well, let's ride along here with your championship leader, Brandon Mettler, in the 015 car, looking at the back end of Gross. Oh, we have a caution. Let's go find out if we can see what has gone wrong. Ooh, it's the 72 that goes around. Tires may be a factor there already. Let's go check on that again. Oh, that is definitely some net code there. The 71 blinking and being out of the picture while turning around the 72. And that is always very unfortunate. Your internet connection can let you down there a little bit. The 71 was suffering from that. That is James McClellan. And while he was out of your picture, he actually drove into the 72, and that means that that iRacing does know where he is. He calculates it, or basically you could say iRacing expects him to be somewhere where he may not even have been. And that is what we call netcode. And unfortunately, James McClellan and Lauren Arfman were involved in that. So let's bring you back up live here. It looks like a whole bunch of drivers are going into the pits. Bichner, Pittman, Arfman, McClellan, and Johnson have gone into the pits trying to get some fresh rubber on these cars, slip sliding around, even if it's just one circle with the throttle full open and spinning those wheels. That can cause those tires to mush up a little bit, and it'll take a couple of laps to wear that overheated rubber off. And that's why you sometimes see guys, or gals, I should say, going into the pits and change those tires. So up front, nobody is having any of these problems. It's Jason Tarasenko that is still in the lead. His advantage obviously evaporated, and Bill Gross and Brandon Mettler get another chance at him. And Jeff Dooley, Tanner Marr, looks like they swapped positions there in 4th and 5th. Jeff Dooley now in 4th, Tanner Marr in 5th. Derek Trowbridge still in the 6th position with Garrett Crowe behind him. Scott Drost now in 8th. Marcus Wilkie in 9th. And Mark Young is in 10th. Dave Bichner came out of the pits in 11th position. And it's Pittman, Arfman, McLellan, and Tyler Johnson rounding out your 15 cars here tonight. We are on lap 24. They're lining them back up, double file. That tells me that we're going to go racing once again. There we go. The pace car is in. It's up to the number 21 to get this show back on the road. And there he goes. Jason Tarasenko takes a good, comfortable lead there, jumps the start a little bit, and it looks like Brandon Mettler takes second position on that restart. That inside line evidently works a little bit better on those restarts because it's also Tanner Marr that jumps into fourth position, leaving Jeff Dooley behind him. And that proves you that those double file restarts on these short tracks are just a little bit of a disadvantage for the outside row, I would say. And Brandon Mettler now in second position, but he's still not closing in on Tarasenko all that quickly. It does look like he has about a car length or so on Bill Gross. And then it's Tanner Marr that has Jeff Dooley still right behind him. Jeff running a little bit wide there. Trowbridge trying to get to his inside, but Trowbridge is not close enough. And it looks like Garrett Crow is at the tail end of that group there, with a little bit more distance now on Dave Bichner and Michael Pittman, Marcus Wilkie there in the 023, and we have another yellow. Let's go and find out what is going on. It looks like they don't like Lauren here tonight, because there she gets the 55 of Mark Young back in her in there again, and that is not good. Let's bring that back for you one more time. The 72 of Lauren Arfman, and it looks like the 55 just gets in there a little hot right at the moment as she decides to steer into the corner. He comes in there pretty hot and turns her around. Unfortunate for Lauren. She is dropping back to 15th position because of all this, and hopefully she can find her groove back again and show these guys that she's meaning business just like them. And it looks like we have Mark Young coming into the pits. Lauren is actually staying out there. James McLellan back into the pits, and Mark Young into the pits for the first time. And as you can see, the pit lane is quite long. They enter the pit in turn 3, and they exit the pit at the exit of turn 1 there. And it looks like it is just tires and fuel for these guys. There, the 55 being jacked up. As you can see, oops, behind the... There they go. They leave the pit pretty much at the exact same moment there. And we also see Pittman and Drost coming into the pits there. Looking obviously for a similar service, getting some new tires. Lap 32, it's fairly early for tires, but you never know how long those green stints will last, so it's really not a bad idea, especially if you're in the back of the pack, because you don't really lose anything. It's good news for Lauren. She is climbing back up to 11th place now, and she is ahead of James McLellan and Mark Young, Michael Pittman, and Scott Drost. Scott's still in the pits there. They are working on that car. As you can see, they're jacking up the left side for the tires. And it's Jason still in front there. Jason Tarasenko, as said, one of the quicker drivers in this series. Won a lot of races, but he may have missed also quite a few of them because he's 11th in the standings. And it looks like he only had 6 starts and won 5 of them. So yeah, that is definitely a guy to be reckoned with. And there you have him. He is once again early on the gas, pulls away a little bit. That is his prerogative. That is what he can do as the leader of the race. He gets to set the pace. And there you see Brandon Mettler coming under threat of Bill Gross. Once again, that inside line on these restarts seems to work the best. But Mettler is really not giving up. He's a true champion there, staying on the outside and keeping the pressure on Gross. He can't maintain that same speed, though, on that higher line. It looks like he's washing up a little bit into the gray area, dropping back to 4th position now with Derek Trowbridge on his inside. Now he gets... Ooh, there they go. That looked like a net code problem as well, because it looked like he was going through there. Let's go check back on that. Look at the blue car there going down low on Trowbridge. It's almost like he doesn't even know he's there, and then all of a sudden iRacing realizes that he is, and he throws him around. So Derek Trowbridge there on the short end of the stick, I will say. Let's hope he can get that car fixed up. As said, they have one faster pair, and this would be a situation where you use it. You could see him blink again a little bit. And that is, I would always say that, you know, it's kind of the mechanical equivalent of what we don't have here is engines failures and whatnot, unless you tear them up yourself. But your connection issues is kind of the digital equivalent of mechanical problems that you wouldn't be able to help in real life. So as you could see, he made a quick stop there. That means he has that quick repair applied to his car. His car looks brand new once again. There you have it. And that means he's there you see it, he's got some connection issues, and that was the reason that Metler was kind of going in there as if he wasn't there. So hopefully he won't be bothered by that too much anymore tonight. And let's go check on the guys here in the front. Bill Gross is second. Tanner Marr is now in third. Brandon Metler, your championship leader, in fourth. Jeff Dooley in fifth. Garrett Crow still in sixth. Bitchner is now in seventh. Tyler Johnson in eighth. Wilkie is in ninth, and Lauren Arfman is in 10th position. They're in the 72 car. And there you're looking at Gross's Summit livery. Nice looking car. Nice and simple. Kind of retro looking, really. Trying to be a little bit intimidating, maybe. And there we go once again. Jason Tarasenko pulls away from the guys behind him. Bill Gross hangs on to the second position in single file. It looks like everything stays better together here. Tanner Marr in third, Brandon Metler in fourth, and then Dooley in fifth. Garrett Crow is there in the purple and white car in the sixth position. Let's keep an eye there on the guys in the group from second to fifth here. That's where the action seems to be right now. Tanner Marr trying to close in there on Bill Gross. And we see Metler also trying to put that nose underneath the number 4 car, but he isn't quite close enough, and you can see the 4 actually trying to be a bit defensive there on the turn entry. And that kind of stops Brandon from getting that nose underneath there, and then Brandon gets a little bit in trouble running wide at the exit of the turn, and it almost gave Jeff Dooley an opportunity to stick his nose underneath there. It's basically a matter of being smooth through those turns, because if you start to turn too tightly or too far to the inside, you run too far wide at the exit with the risk of having to let go of the throttle a little bit. There we see Brandon Metler coming to the inside of the 4, and it looks like he is ready to pick up third position here. And he does so, and it takes him about a lap, but he sure does so, and the 98 of Dooley is coming with him. That is always a bit of the trouble when you're on that outside line and the guys on the inside are running nose to tail. You can't get back down in there. Then you have no choice but to let the second guy go as well. And that's what's going on with Tanner Marr there. And it looks like Bill Gross is already looking at Brandon Metler in that mirror there. Metler quickly making work of catching up with him in the number 12 car and trying to get underneath. And you see that Metler seems to be coming down underneath that yellow line a little bit in turns 1 and 2, where he He doesn't do it now. But you always have to be a little bit careful doing that, because it wouldn't be the first time that you get caught out by the back end stepping away from you, getting upset a little bit by the transition from the apron to the banking. Brandon Mettler in second position now. Looks like he is trying to pull away a little bit from Gross, but only by a couple of car lengths or so. And we'll have to keep an eye on the distance from Mettler to Tarasenko. You can see Tarasenko running away in the distance. He's got about 1.7 seconds on the rest of the field. And it doesn't look like Mettler is capable of closing that gap altogether. It stays about the same right now, so they're pretty equal in speed. Actually, the last lap time of these two guys, the Tarasenko and Mettler, were only 0.02 of a second apart. So you could say that they are pretty equal in speed. And this last lap, actually, Mettler was a little bit quicker, only 1/10 of a second. Lap 55 of 125. Here in the Five Flags Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. Guys are putting on a pretty good show here for us tonight. Dooley right behind Gross. And it looks like things are settling down a little bit. Here we have Tanner Marr still in fifth. Garrett Crow in the sixth position. Tyler Johnson then by himself here. Then it's Dave Bitchener in eighth, and he's got Scott Drost right behind him. Looks like Scott Drost is trying to get a little racy with him there. Marcus Wilkie in 10th. Michael Pittman in 11th. Derek Trowbridge is in 12th, so he worked his way back up for a couple of positions there. Mark Young in the 55 is in 13th. James McClellan is in 14th. And Lauren Arfman is there in 15th. And it makes you wonder if her car has a slight damage maybe, or maybe some burned up tires from that spin that she had. And that might be explaining why she can't keep up right now, but a couple of fresh tires would probably help her out quite a bit. We have another caution. It is the number 17 car of Michael Pittman that is being turned around. Let's bring that back for you. He's racing the 023 of Marcus Wilkie. Ooh, Marcus Wilkie running very, very high. Ooh, and it's the 17 actually doing this all by himself, getting underneath that line, scraping the inside wall, probably got a little loose on the back end there, scraping the wall, and ooh, then he gets a little too eager to get it going, and he loses the back end once again. Those are the kind of things that really aren't necessary. Then he takes a toe into the pit, meaning that iRacing, he hits the escape button, and iRacing will calculate some time for him to wait in the pits until the toe is completed, and then he'll get his repairs. All right, so we have a bunch of guys in the pits, including your leader, Jason Tarasenko, Gross, Jeffley, Dooley, Marr, Trowbridge, Crow, Drost, Arfman, McClellan, Johnson, Pittman, all in the pits trying to get some fresh rubber, get this thing running a little bit better. That leaves Brandon Mettler in the lead here, your championship leader in the 015 car, being currently followed by Marcus Wilkie. That obviously he gained a lot of spots there, a lot of track position. Mark Young in the number 55, also gaining a lot of track position. And it is actually somebody got the wave around. I'm not sure who that was. It looks like it was... can't tell. Ooh, it looked like Lauren may have thought that she got the wave around and didn't. Not sure what's going on with her there, stopping on the racetrack. Or maybe she just misjudged her speed coming out of the pits. Not sure what happened there. She is currently shown a lap down on the leader, Brandon Mettler. And Pittman is being shown 4 laps down. Now, obviously, the fight is going to be the fresh tires versus the older tires. Mettler and Wilkie did not pit, so they're running on tires that have 64 laps on them. And everybody else has pitted on lap 60, except for Mark Young. He pitted last on lap 30, so his tires are fairly old, but not as old as the guys in front of him. And that is where I expect the guys on the newer tires to be quite a bit quicker, actually. But they can be quicker, but they still need to make those passes. Single file restart. Mettler takes the lead, pulls away from Marcus Wilkie there in second position. It is Mark Young in third, and Tarasenko already in fourth position, proven on the restart that those tires are just simply a lot better than Mark Young's. And it's Tanner Marr that is pulling right past Jeff Dooley there, picking up fifth position. Let's keep an eye on Jason here. Jason Tarasenko in fourth position, while the guys in front of him are going side by side, duking it out for that second spot. It is Mark Young that takes it away from the 023 of Wilkie, drops back to sixth position, way up in the gray area there, hitting the wall. That is definitely a sign that he would have been way better off getting new tires, because it basically what is happening now, he has old tires. He's trying to stay out of people's way, but doing that, he gets up into the marbles and has no grip at all. You can see the right front of that car being damaged. Meanwhile, it is Brandon Mettler, who's the only one proving me wrong about those old tires. He is running good lap times, actually. 16.2, and that is quicker than Young and Tarasenko. Of course, Tarasenko would love to run quicker, but he's caught up behind the 55. And the fact that the 55 is already almost 2 seconds behind the leader tells you that he's not as quick as the guys on new tires. There we see the Tarasenko going to the inside and pretty much leaving the 55 there, hanging to dry. And both Tanner Marr and Tarasenko passed the 98 car. I'm sorry, the 55 car there. He's already dropping back to sixth. And once again proving that staying out for track position only works so long. Now we'll have to keep an eye on Tarasenko in the 21 on brand new tires and Mettler on old tires. And it looks like, what we can tell from lap times, that Tarasenko is only a tenth of a second quicker. And that I would expect that to be a bigger difference, but it isn't. Tarasenko is walking away a little bit from Tanner Marr there. Judd Dooley and Gross are behind him. Dave Bitchener has gone to pit road. Yeah, it looks like he's just getting some service there. Mettler still in the lead, and he's got 1.6 seconds on Jason Tarasenko. Tarasenko is still about a tenth of a second quicker each lap, so he will reel him in a little bit. Brandon's lead is not going to last forever. Field stretching out now, and behind Tarasenko it is Marr, then Gross, then Dooley in the 98, then a bit of a gap, about 1.2 seconds, till we see Scott Drost and Mark Young, Tyler Johnson, Derek Trowbridge, Garrett Crow there, James McClellan. He is behind Lauren Arfman, but she's a lap down. Marcus Wilkie dropped back to 12th position there, and once again we have Bitchener once again in the pits, so I'm sure that he's having bigger trouble than we can see from the outside. Lauren Arfman is hanging on with the group in front of her, and even though that is not for position, she is showing good speed there. Brandon Mettler still in front. The difference is now less than a second, which means that Jason is reeling him in. And as said, the difference is growing a little bit. It looks like Tarasenko is about 0.2 of a second quicker now every lap than Brandon Mettler, and you can see that he is visually reeling that blue car in. And we have Mark Young being taken over by Garrett Crow there. So even further back, it just doesn't work anymore on those older tires. He is being threatened on the outside there by Derek Trowbridge, and it is Lauren Arfman behind him. Let's go check back on Jason. He is reeling in the leader. The difference is now only 0.4 of a second. There you have them both in the shot. And if you look closely on those cars, if you look at them from the right side, you can see that when you get a chance to look in the wheel wells, you can actually see that iRacing even simulates the disc brakes getting hot there, lighting up in red. There we see Jason taking over the leading position from Brandon Mettler there. Brandon hanging on as good as he can, but those tires are not going to give him much to work with anymore after 87 laps. Jason went into the pits and had his changed, and that obviously is working for him. So Tarasenko back in the lead, Mettler right behind him, trying to stay with him, and I'm sure that has taken quite a bit of effort. We can take a look at his movements of his hands. Oop, we're in the wrong car. This is Brandon Mettler. Especially on the exit of the turn, you watch for a little bit of sudden hand movements, meaning that the backhand wants to step out. I do believe that Brandon's got it under control quite well. And there they're passing on a slower car. That looked to me like it was, yep, that is Dave Bitchener that has come to a halt on the track. And that brings out the caution flag. I can't see if there's anything else happening. The 38 smashes it into the wall, but that didn't bring out the caution. I believe it was this one that did. Bitchener now is 19 laps behind, so he's got quite a bit of trouble. And once again, Jason brings it into the pit. Brandon Mettler brings it into the pit as well, and that's going to put him on equal terms. Bill Gross is the only one staying out. Of course, Bill has pitted on lap 60, so he might be thinking that the difference in tires is not going to be that big. But I'm sure that's what the other guys thought. It didn't work out too well. Mark Young has stayed out, and that's because he's a lap down probably. He's coming into the pits now. Lauren Arfman is staying out, and that brings her back onto the lead lap. In fact, it brings her right behind Bill Gross in second position. And the first one out on new tires looks to be Jeff Cooley. And he gets to pass Lauren. Why? I'm not really sure why that is. Now, if I remember correctly, they showed me the rules, and it says that the restarts will be double file, and Can't remember if they put the lapped cars to the back. Most of these short track series make sure that the guys in front are the guys fighting for position in the front, and they put the lapped cars further back in the field. So Bill Gross is the one that stayed out with the number 12 car. He's on lap. He pitted last on lap 60, so his tires have about 30 laps on him, and he could be taking a gamble here because we're not that far from the finish. We're on lap 96. We'll be going green there in a little bit. That'll be lap 97. Looks like we're going single file again, and that means that we have like about 29 laps to go. So he might be taking a chance here, and he is early on the gas, pulls a good length on Dooley here. Dooley already being overtaken by Tarasenko. Mettler is right there also, coming to his inside. No, not close enough. Mettler there in 4th position. Now coming to the inside, the 98 of Dooley having to settle for 4th. We have another caution going out. Let's see what's going on. The 71 of James McClellan going around pretty much by himself, I would say. And then in a separate incident, the 023, we'll show you that in a minute. This looks like the 71's basically going out by himself. And let's go check on what happened on the 023. 023 gets 2 wheels on that apron. As I told you before, that can upset the car. Then he's probably being somewhat startled by the car standing still in front of him, and that was basically it. So 2 separate incidents there. Lauren going into the pits, James McClellan going into the pits, Marcus Wilkie also into the pits, and it looks like the 71 car is still in pretty good shape there. Yeah, back out he goes. Marcus Wilkie going back out again. Lauren taking a little bit longer there, but there she goes, back out on track. So right up front here, still Bill Gross. Had a blazingly good start there, I will say that. Jason Tarasenko now in 2nd, Brandon Mettler in 3rd, Jeff Dooley in 4th, and Tyler Johnson in 5th. And let's see about Jeff Dooley. Jeff Dooley is running 12th in the championship. He has won 1 race. I couldn't tell you which one, but he did win 1. Bill Gross has run 8 races this season, of which he won 2. So that's a pretty good score. Pittman once again in the pits in the number 17 car. James McClellan back in the pits, probably trying to get some repairs done before he goes down a lap. Well, he's already down a lap, so it doesn't matter that much before going down another lap. Basically what sometimes they are doing is if you look at the track, they'll go into the pits and they'll head back out right before the field comes out of turn number 3, and that way they can catch up with the field before they go down another lap. This time the 71 takes quite a bit longer. We're still under yellow, so unfortunately the 71 has more problems than he wants, and he is going down another lap. And you saw the 17 catching up with the field there. And not so sure if James is going to be able to make it back out. So Gross in 1st, Tarasenko 2nd, Mettler 3rd, Dooley, Tyler Johnson. Let's check on the back end of the pack there. Ooh, we're going back racing. Pay attention. Bill Gross once again has a pretty decent start, but this time Tarasenko doesn't let him get completely surprised. And it looks like the 71 is back out. He is taking the escape route there to let the leaders by. That is good sportsmanship. Not sure if he did that entirely voluntarily, but still, And then it's Tarasenko taking over the lead on his newer tires. Gross is already paying for staying out. Although I will say he is not very much slower than Tarasenko there, but couldn't hold on to that leading position. We are on lap 106 already. The 71 trying to join the pack there, coming out of pit road. Pittman in the pits once again. Here comes the field. Tarasenko pulling away from Bill Gross now. Brandon Mettler in third. Dooley, Tyler Johnson in the number 5 car hanging on, and he's right in front of Tanner Marr. Then we have about a little under a second to Scott Drost, Trowbridge, Crow, Mark Young then a little bit further back in the 55 with Lauren Arfman right behind him. She is back on the lead lap. Marcus Wilkie is not. He is in the 023 running in 12th position. James McClellan is still running. He's got that car back out there, but he's also 4 laps down. Bitchner in the 19 car. Ooh, it looks like we saw the 55 there going into the wall. Let's bring that back for you. There you see him scuffing that wall pretty hard. And it's not like he needs more damage. Tarasenko in the lead now, 1.5 seconds ahead of Brandon Mettler. That means that Brandon Mettler has taken over that second position from Bill Gross. We can try to find that back for you. There it happens. The 12 running a little bit wide. And 015 just taking that position away from him. Now it's Tyler Johnson trying to do the same thing. So once again, not pitting is not paying off here for the number 12 car. You would think they learned their lessons earlier in the race, but they don't. And I will say he's not very much slower. The difference isn't big, but once you get caught out on that higher side, also being on those older tires, it's just not going to work. Tanner Marr is having a little bit more trouble getting by it. Oh, there we see Tanner Marr being touched in the back end by, I believe that was Dooley. Yep, that was Dooley. Let's bring it back here from another camera angle. Keep an eye on... oops. And then I can't find it. Alright, let's try that one more time here. Bring it back. And it turned out to be a pretty big mess, actually. Watch for the 98 and the number 4 there. They touch slightly, then the 98 gets blocked, and it looks like ooh, and then they start running into each other, and it becomes a bigger mess. The 90, I believe that's the 98 of Dooley. That also, no. That looked like the 17 or the 19 that also got in there. Pittman back into pits, the number 17 car. I can't really see that much visual damage, but for some reason he just keeps going into the pits and changing tires. And it doesn't look like he's in that bad of a shape. And meanwhile, it is still Tarasenko in the lead, lap 117. We're getting close to wrapping this thing up here. Brandon Mettler in second, your championship leader and winner. Tyler Johnson, Bill Gross. Bill Gross has got 2 wins to his name. Scott Drost, 1 win to his name, in second position in the championship. And then Tanner Marr in the number 4. He is third in the championship and probably will stay there if he doesn't finish higher up. And it looks like he has not yet won a race this season, but his consistency, obviously, 9 top 10 finishes, 6 of them in the top 5, so out of 10 races, that is pretty good. That's what gave him all those points. And then Mark Young, we have Mark Young here as well. He is 4th in the championship. Hasn't won races either, but also 9 top 10 finishes. And it looks like we're going back to racing. Jason Tarasenko.
Green.
And he pulls away from Mettler there a little bit. A little bit of a gap there between him, 2 or 3 car lengths maybe. Tyler Johnson hanging on to 3rd position. Tyler Gross hanging on to 4th. Lap 125. We have 121, I should say. We have 5 laps to go. Scott Drost in 5th, Garrett Crow in 6th, Lauren Arfman there in 7th position. That's not at all bad, since considering she was a lap down earlier. So let's stay with your leaders here. Jason Tarasenko dominating this race pretty much. He is simply the quicker guy on track here. Brandon Mettler is doing very well lap time wise, but it's not enough. But I will say he will round up this championship with a very solid podium finish here if he can finish this thing. Tyler Johnson behind him in 3rd.
The yellow flag is out.
Ooh, we're having a late yellow here on lap 24. That will, that is Lauren Arfman going around there. Let's see what happened to her. She gets a little help there. She does indeed. And that is from 2 of them actually. And then she can't save it. No one brings it around. No one would blame her for that. Once you are off balance, it's pretty hard to keep it in a straight line. That's very unfortunate for her. She drops down to 11th place. All right, that'll bring us to the first of 3 possible green-white checkered finishes to wrap this thing up here in Pensacola, Florida at Five Flags Speedway. Your final race of the season for the Crooked Line Monday Madness. Once again, that 17 car back into pit lane. That is his 8th pit stop. Not sure what the deal is for him, but doesn't seem to come to grips with this track. Let's see here, the number 15 car, that is Scott Drost, your 2nd place guy in the championship currently. Running in 5th position. And it looks like the lights on the pace car are out now. We are getting ready to do a green-white checkered if we can hang on for 2 laps. There we go. Jason is early on the gas once again, pulls away from Brandon Mettler there in second position with Tyler Johnson and Bill Gross right behind him. Then a bit of a gap to Scott Drost. Brandon seems to be okay there in second position, although Tyler is right there. He can't afford to make any mistakes. The white flag is out. The final lap is running. Jason Tarasenko in the lead in front of Brandon Mettler. Tyler Johnson hanging on to third position. Tyler looking for any mistake that Brandon makes to take it away from him, but it is Brandon Mettler in second, behind your winner, Jason Tarasenko. Tyler Johnson in third, Bill Gross in fourth, Scott Drost in fifth. Then it's Tanner Marr in the sixth position. Garrett Groh turned it around there after the finish. Dooley, Trowbridge, Mark Young, and everybody pretty much already coming to a stop before they get to pit lane. James McClellan brings it home there in 12th position. And let's bring up those results there for you. There you have them. Half a second between Tarasenko and Mettler. Let's go see if we can find somebody to talk to there. All right, bear with me here, folks. I don't seem to have authorization to bring anybody to my room here.
But still like to know stuff.
All right, guys, I can't move anybody to the broadcast room, so I'm just going to move myself here to you. Jason Tarasenko, first of all, congratulations to you, my friend, on winning this race here. What's your thoughts?
It was a good race. I like these longer races. The taking tires is a whole new thing for me. I'm used to leagues where we don't take tires, so that's throwing some interesting strategy to it. Definitely had some comers and goers, and I was getting worried there a little bit, playing depending on how that tire cycle was going to play out with that green white at the end. I didn't know if anybody was going to pit, maybe have a major advantage on me there. So I just head down and went.
Yeah, it looked like you had your, despite it being new for you, you had that tire strategy pretty much under control because everybody that stayed out after the first pit stop paid for it pretty much instantly, and everybody that stayed out after the second one paid for it as well.
Yeah, you just never know. It's all based on laps and how much they ate them up with their setup. So it's all interesting, that's for sure. I'm having fun in this league. There's a bunch of good guys. I really appreciate it.
Yes, that's what I heard. I mean, I'm kind of new to this league myself, but I look at your stats here, and you got six races, now seven, with six wins out of them. I can see you're having some good fun.
It's a good group of guys, and everybody's at different skill levels, but everybody's working well together. So looking forward to helping a few guys get their setups a little better and things like that. So I think we're going to have a really good season next year.
Awesome, sounds good. Jason, thank you very much. Any love yous and thank yous you want to throw out?
Yeah, absolutely. Midwest Power Source, one of my companies, Harding Motorsport Supply, RBRC, and I just want to thank you for doing the broadcast, and of course the league, James, and that for putting this all together, and everybody that's behind the scenes. It takes a lot of work to do these leagues, and so kudos to them for doing it. They do a great job.
Thank you very much, Jason. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Brandon, if I can move on to you, I'm not a mathematician, but it's pretty obvious who is the champion here. The way I understand it is that, and I can tell from the stats, is that you're doing this on consistency mostly. You look to me like you had really had something for Jason there for a while.
Yeah, at the beginning of the race when I had those new tires and the fresh setup and all that kind of stuff, I feel really good. As the race went on, I started to tune in a little bit more and get a little bit faster and use the apron a little bit more. Felt more steady that way. But then Probably the last 30, 25 similar laps or so. Front tire started screeching a little bit. I used those up a little bit, and car got pretty tight after that. But yeah, other than that, I just try to play a little bit of strategy, staying out when everybody pit that first time. Um, just kind of give it all I had, see what happened, and kind of worked out my favor, finishing second. I'm happy with that.
Awesome, man. It looked to me like I'm not sure which restart it was because we had several, but there was one where you were caught on the second position, I believe, and being on that higher side on the restarts does seem to be a little bit troublesome at Five Flags Speedway, doesn't it?
Absolutely, especially when practicing my steps and all that stuff. I practice setting it up for the low line really. So when you get up there and the banking's not as noticeable, I guess, when you go up there and can't use the apron as much to help turn your car and all that stuff, it really just not a good mixture. So I kind of backed off a little bit when I couldn't get around Bill. I think it was on the inside of me. I was restarting third. So luckily the caution came pretty soon after, and I was able to kind of gather up after that and get back in line. But yeah, that top line is really really tough.
Does it improve as the race goes on? Does it rubber in any?
That does a little bit as some guys start wearing their tires a little bit. They start moving up the track gradually, and it gets a little bit of rubber on that high line. But yeah, I think definitely the low line still has the advantage the whole way around the track, really.
So rather than just talking about this race here, I mean, obviously you've been doing a very consistent and good job during the entire season. How do you look back on it?
Oh man, it was a lot of fun. I'm really really glad James, Mark, and Arfie started to put this super late models series together this season because this is my favorite car in the game, at my favorite track in the game. I mean, I couldn't end it on a better note, really. Finishing right behind a top tier guy in Jason and finishing second with all the talent in this field. I mean, that's crazy to me. Um, the whole season, really, I've been racing with a lot of tough guys, and Bill, that's been helping us new guys, I guess you could say, in the series with setups and just overall racecraft and everything like that. So, kind of growing with these guys, like I said, throughout the whole season, being able to finish at the top of the standings at the end of the year, that's awesome.
So I was under the impression that it was fixed setup here, but it's not, is it?
If not, yeah, which adds a little bit of an extra dynamic to it.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, once again, Brandon, I congratulate you. 9 top 5 finishes in I believe 10 races. That is pretty decent to talk to write home about, my friend. Anybody you want to say thank you to or throw some love yous out there?
Yeah, thank you for sure for those comments. BAM Racing Videos, BAM Racing Videos is my personal page that I have on YouTube and Facebook. Post racing videos every once in a while. Definitely a huge thank you to, like I said, James, Mark, and Arfie for their admin help this season and past season. For you, for the broadcast for sure. And I really appreciate, I know James appreciates it as well, kind of getting our league out there for some of our viewership and our, like everything like that. So we really appreciate it. Hopefully put a good race on for you.
Absolutely, you did for sure. I love this stuff, especially that it looks to me like this league has got plenty of quality. Of course, there's incidents, but it's racing hard for position, but it's not a mess, and that what makes it fun. It's okay that stuff happens, but if it doesn't turn out to be a mess, it always is fun and close racing because all these cars are equal, basically.
Absolutely, yeah. The supers are a lot of fun to drive. I know some other people in the league really like these cars too. So that's just part of the camaraderie in the league too. Everybody's friends with each other. If something personal comes up, we'll help each other out with that too. It just doesn't have to be racing. So, like I said, a great, 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 great group of guys to run with, and it's a lot of fun this year.
Awesome. Well, once again, congratulations on the second place. Even bigger congratulations on the championship win, and we'll hope to see you some more, bud.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's move on to Tyler Johnson there, finished in third position here in the season finale. Tyler, are you there?
I sure am.
Tell me about this race, man. It looked like you were struggling a little bit there in the beginning. I think there was an incident there that you was involved in, and then you still brought it home fifth position, or a third position. I'm sorry, I'm looking at your car number here. Tell me about it.
Ooh, yeah. Kind of just screwed up my qualifying. Hit the wall a little bit coming across the start finish, so it kind of nullified both laps. So started from the back and started working my way through. And working through the field can be tough with people racing hard and just contact happening.
Nothing that was really a major problem to your car, because it looked to me like you had a little bit of a sheet metal damage, but it wasn't really bothering you all that much.
I think it probably was towards the end of the race. I kept tapping the wall a little bit, just trying to get the most out of it. And over time, I think it started making me plow through the turns a little bit more than I was used to. Definitely felt a little bit slower than what practice was throwing.
So that kind of explains that you didn't really have anything for Brandon, although you did stick with him there on that final green white checkered quite well.
Yeah, I just needed probably a few more laps, and I probably could have gave him a little bit of pressure, but off that quick restart, I couldn't get up to him in time.
I hear you. All right, Tyler, good to hear from you, man. I'm not sure where you're going to be ending up in the championship. It looked like you were in the 13th position as you started, but you probably gained some good points here. But unfortunately, I cannot calculate that this quickly. But once again, congratulations on your third spot. Any thank yous and love yous you want to throw out?
Yeah, man, thanks so much, and thanks for broadcasting. Just want to thanks James and everybody in the league for racing good and helping each other out. And want to say I love to my family and friends. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much, Tyler. All right, final man I want to talk to is James McClellan. I believe he is the guy that sets all this stuff up. James, a season to the end. Can you hear me, by the way?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, cool. James, it looked like your race was somewhat eventful there, especially in the earlier parts. I do believe you were involved in some of the contact there. Talk us through that.
Yeah, they're not my strongest cars to begin with. I'm kind of new to them, so I'm just feeling my way around, trying to stay out of the way most of the time. I got into a couple incidents early, mostly self-inflicted spins, and took some damage. And it was just a struggle all the way back after that. Kind of threw me off my game, and you know how it goes.
Trust me, I've been there, done that. Can you tell us a little bit about the future for your league here? Are you guys going to be continuing on the Monday nights with this car, or what's the plan?
Yeah, we're definitely going to continue the Monday night with this. The series started out small, like most do, and it's grown to be a really strong, popular series. We got a really good backbone of members, which is what we believe it takes to really build a strong league. Our Wednesday night late model league is really strong, and it's turned this one into a strong league as well. So you'll definitely be seeing us in the future on Monday nights.
So anybody that's watching that looks at this and thinks, "Hey, I want to be a part of this," you're the man to contact? Is there a Facebook page they can go to or a website?
Yeah, you can hit up Crooked Line Racing. You'll find it all over Facebook and on Google Sites and around iRacing, Discord. We're everywhere.
All right, James. Thank you very much. Any thank yous and love yous you want to throw out there before we go?
I just want to thank all the guys. It's been a really fun league to build up, and I've had some good help with my friends Lauren Arfman and Mark Young, and the rest of the racers. Couldn't ask for better guys. Lots of support for each other. Not too many issues, which is rare. It is short track racing, and the tempers get going. But the guys are pretty respectful, and we like it like that. We're going to try and keep it like that. But overall, just thank you, and thank you for broadcasting for us. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate you giving me the opportunity, sir. Once again, congratulations on a job well done there at the end of this season. We have a champion. Brandon Mettler is his name. I certainly enjoyed myself. I agree totally with you. It's a good group of guys. There's clean racing going on, and like I said earlier, obviously things happen every once in a while, but that's racing, especially on short tracks. And but all in all, I think we saw a very, very cool end of the season here at Five Flag Speedway. Thank you very much, James.
Thank you. Have a great night.
All right, folks, that'll be doing it for tonight here at the Five Flag Speedway. Your race winner is Jason Tarasenko. You heard from him. Your champion and second place finisher here tonight is Brandon Mettler. We've heard from him. Tyler Johnson in third position. We've heard from him. And our final speaker there was James McClellan. We wanted to let him have a little bit of say here as he puts together this great league here. And I couldn't agree, once again, I couldn't agree more with him. It takes a good group of guys, people that are dedicated to sportsmanship and good fun racing, especially on short tracks. It can get a little bit messy here and there, but that's just part of the deal. As long as everybody has their mindset in the right direction, and that often helps them keep the car going in the right direction. So once again, a great season finished for the Crooked Line Racing. If you are interested in this, go find them on Facebook or on the internet. They have a website. They have a Facebook page. James McClellan is the guy to talk to if you are interested in joining up and ready for some fun racing. My name is Mark. This is Short Shift Broadcasting from Five Flag Speedways in Pensacola, Florida. We bid you good night. We hope you had fun. Thanks for tuning in, and check out our other series at Short Shift Broadcasting. We have several things going on all the time. Thanks for watching.